5G, we in 5D, we ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in that 5D, that fifth dimensional reality, yeah. I don't need no 5G because I live in 5D. I don't need new towers, I just need more of them pine trees. So when I kick it, then you know just where you'll find me. And if you ask, then you know just what the time be. It's now. I'm in the present, in the clouds, with both feet on the ground. To Mother Gaia, connecting to the source all around. These waters also infinite, frequencies all surround. Enter and exit my cells through the miracle of sound. But I prefer the natural vibe. Cell tower, yeah, why so quick to roll it out with no test on its true power? Maybe you should just take your time, give it more than just an hour, and think about the effect you can cause, so don't hide or cower. But we know why, it's the need to constantly progress. Money, power, and success, fear there won't be crumbs left if you're not the one who doesn't win the war or conquest. And prove to the world that you simply think that you are the best. But the real step is to get to 5D, and emotionally open, true and loving light being, not holding grudges or creating blame for fighting, but shining all your truth and light that is so blinding. Light to the darkness, let's take this time and mark this down as the first step of reaping all our harvest. Yeah, ain't it marvelous? We're all life artists, just as smart as Ralph. We're creators who all thought this. So let's unite without a fear, and bring the light to those we're near. No 5G tower can devour the connection to this planet that is always ours. 5G, we in 5D, we ain't need no 5G, we in 5D, we ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in 5D, the fifth dimensional reality. No 5G, we in 5D, we ain't need no 5G, we in 5D, we ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in that 5D, that fifth dimensional reality.
Oh, we had to start with some Caribbean vibes, deep divers. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who made it. How's your day going, deep divers? If this is your first time joining us for the live stream, welcome. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. And let me give a huge shout out to everybody in the chat. Just diving deep. I got to give a huge shout out to Hills Have Eyes. I've been diving deep so much. I think I'm starting to see the world. I always wanted to go live. I appreciate you. Thank you for the offering. Anita's joint. One love, deep divers. One love to you. I appreciate the offering. Divine Feminine Queen, shout out to you. Shout out to all the deep divers. Woo! We got a lot of deep divers early. Sharon, I appreciate you, Sharon. The cat down the road loves you, Sharon. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are here live streaming. We're about to have a whole lot of fun. I'm sending you tons of good ass energy today. Take that, take that, take that. It's about to get crazier. How crazy, Ralph? Very crazy. The lions are waking up. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Deep divers, the lions are waking up. Gosh, the chat is going so fast right now. Let me give a huge shout out to everybody who made it for their first live stream. Let me give a huge shout out to Brandon. I see you, Brandon. You are appreciated. You are appreciated. Brandon Rickett. Ralph, you're the dopest brother. Thank you, Brandon. Brandon, you are amazing yourself. If I may say so. If I may say so, Brandon. Let me give a huge shout out to Trailer. Beloved, I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody who's just diving deep. And let me give a huge shout out to Jamie while I'm at it, okay? Hi, Ralph. Finally caught you live. Thank you for yesterday's message on sensitive empaths. It hit home for me big time. Beautiful. Beautiful to hear that. Beautiful to hear that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We're just warming up. Deep divers, we got a whole lot to talk about. We got a whole lot to talk about. Divine Feminine Queen, you're sending that good ass energy this way. What are you saying? You're saying, take that, take that, take that, take that. I'm sending you it right back. Take that, take that, take that, take that. Good ass energy I'm sending you right now. I love everybody in the chat. Oh, we're having fun, deep divers. We're having fun. It's about to get crazy. The lions are waking up. Shout out to all the lions. Shout out to all the lions in the house who are waking up, coming out of hibernation. It's about that time, right? Because a lot is happening on the planet, deep divers, and we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? We ain't even had breakfast yet. So 11:11, I appreciate that slow motion this side. Absolutely. Let me give a huge shout out to the life of James. So I did the whole video December 21st, 2020, the world officially ends. And a lot of people have been messaging me about it. You see, deep divers, the temperature is heating up on the planet. And right now, you are seeing the greatest grab for power in the history of mankind. And this is why the lions are waking up, because it just got serious. It just got real. Okay? You already see what's happening in Australia. They can't even go outside. Right? You already see what's happening in New Zealand. So things are getting very serious on the planet with this whole lockdown, with this whole COVID-19. That's why the lions are waking up. They're like, oh my gosh, we got to save the planet right now. we got to do something right now. So let me just tell you this, deep divers. You see, I told you. This is the Great Awakening. In the Great Awakening, a lot of people all around the world are starting to realize if they don't stand up right now, it's going to be over. The world will officially end. It's already ended for a lot of people. And I want to remind you of one thing. Let me give a huge shout out to everybody just joining the chat. 11:11. Let me just Let me just say thank you to everybody who's been diving with me. I truly appreciate all the deep divers. Can we go Caribbean? Can we do a little samba? Not samba. Let's do a little reggae tune. Okay, I got a reggae tune for everybody in the chat. Let's go. We just had to go Caribbean. Now, shout out to everybody who's joining us. Let me give a huge shout out to X, the most highest. Okay. Once again, deep divers, this is the people's show. This is your show. This is not my show. This is all of our shows. X most highest. The world is not ending. It's beginning. The ending of the government brainwashing the masses through fear is ending. The greatest awakening are the people waking up to the truth. The virus will fall. Thank you for that comment. Shout out to you. Let me give a huge shout out to Sharma, who's just joining us. We're just starting Deep Divers. Let me give a huge shout out to Sharma LMN. Love you, Ralph. Thank you for going live. Oh, baby. Infinite love and gratitude to you and all the deep divers. This community is divine. One love to the Good Vibe Tribe. Hey, I'm sending you much love because you came in on the 11/11. Okay? You came in on the 11/11. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It's getting crazy, deep divers. The lions are waking up. You see, everything I was doing back in the day was just to prepare you for this moment that's on the planet right now. What? Slow motion this side. I don't think you heard me. I said everything I was doing back in the day was just to prepare your ass for what's happening on the planet. Because, oh my gosh, it just got incredibly real. Right? Let me just say this, deep divers. A lot of people right now are starting to realize the world they once knew no longer exists. That world, you might as well forget about it. And I told you it would come to this. I told you that they are going to step up everything because right now the clock is ticking. And that's why you're seeing everything happen the way it's happening. The vaccine on the way. Face masks are becoming the new normal all around the world. I told you, deep divers, that it's about to get crazy. You haven't even seen anything yet. You ain't even seen anything yet. So that's why the lions are here. The lions are here. And shout out to all the people who are using their platform to spread awareness about what's really going on the planet. You see, deep divers, we are the power. We always were, and we always will be. You see, we are in a very interesting time on the planet. Very interesting, because everything that's happening right now on the planet is not final yet. I told you it's just part of the experiment. And this experiment can go any way. It can go any way. Artorius the Great, I appreciate that. One love to you. It can go any way. It can go any way. And what I want to remind you of, deep divers, is that this is the greatest opportunity right now to say, we ain't having it. This is the greatest opportunity. We've only got a small window of time to do it, because I told you, right now, a lot of people are being lulled into a deep sleep. A lot of people are just accepting what's happening. And this is why it's a state of emergency on the planet. You see, a lot of people aren't too bothered about wearing face masks. This is what I told you. It's called social engineering. If you tell someone to do something repeatedly, they just accept this and they never question what's going on. So when you see a lot of people who are just like this, and they're like, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's exactly how it starts. It starts with, hey, just put this on, and it's a slow death. It's a slow poison. And we must never let it get to this. Let me just say this, okay? Let me just tell you this, deep divers. I told you about the health passport. Okay? The health passport, which they want to implement, okay?
Your administrator securely updates your COVID-19 test results in your health passport. Once activated, you can easily display your COVID-19 status on your mobile. Your health passport can be scanned if you wish, which helps protect those around us. Your COVID-19 status will efficiently display as green, amber, or red, dependent on your test results. This allows us to go about our daily activities in a safer way. We can all use Health Passport Ireland in many ways, such as travel, hospitality, education, healthcare, construction, offices, entertainment, visits, and much, much more. Naturally, the validity of your COVID-19 test will expire over time, so an automatic reminder will be sent when it's time to be tested again. Your status will move to amber when your test period has expired. Health Passport Ireland does not use Bluetooth or track your location. This preserves your privacy. The systems can work in harmony with existing government contact tracing apps.
All right. That was just a little clip of the Health Passport Ireland. So I told you, right now, a lot of people are realizing how serious this is all getting, because they want the health passport. You see, this is the future they want for your children, wearing a face mask 24/7. So this is the time where the lions are saying, hey, we got to do something about this, because this is going to be the new normal. This is going to be the new normal unless you stand up and say we ain't having it. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, you know, you are appreciated. X, the most highest, shout out to you. I appreciate the offering. Let me give a huge shout out to everybody who's just joining us. The chat is going fast. Let me give a huge shout out to, let's start with gratitude, deep divers. Let's start with gratitude. X, most highest. You are the people, you are the power, you are the 99%. Love yourself. Love attracts love. You reap what you sow. Love you, Ralph. Thank you for waking up the cat down the road, I think. I appreciate you, X most highest. Shout out to you. So the lions are waking up all around the planet right now. Literally waking up, deep divers. They're getting up. Oh my gosh, what's happening on the planet? We got to do something right now. We got to start roaring. And that's what you got to do. You got to start roaring, because if you don't, you're going to get played like a fiddle. So that's why the lions had to wake up. The lions had to say, okay, enough is enough. You see, if you don't say enough is enough, deep divers, they're going to walk over you, all over you. Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. We're just having fun right now. So if you realize, deep divers, that a lot of people don't really realize the full extent of what's happening. They think, hey, you know, it's going to blow over. Just give it. No, it's not going to blow over. In fact, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse because everything that's happening right now was planned a long time ago. Everything that's happening right now was planned a long time ago. And this is why it's about to get crazier. I told you, you're dealing with chess masters. A lot of people are playing checkers. They play chess. So the only way out, the only way humanity can free itself is to really realize that we have to take back our power once and for all. Because if you don't, see, a lot of people right now, they're just going on with their everyday life like, hey, ain't got nothing to do with me, right? But a lot of people don't realize that this, what you see this woman wearing, what you see this woman wearing, this is what they want on you permanently. You see, everything that happens in this world, in this matrix, shall I say, is pre-planned. So should we surf the web a bit, deep divers? How are you doing? How's everybody in the chat feeling today? I hope your day is going good. You know, we're just having fun, deep divers. We are one, absolutely. So one thing I actually came across, and this is why I told you it's about to get crazier, okay? One thing I came across was test kits, okay? Test kits. Test kits, COVID-19 test kits going back to 2017 and going back to 2017 and 2018. So what did Shakespeare say, deep divers? What did Shakespeare say? Shakespeare said the whole world is a stage. Okay? Shakespeare said the whole world is a stage and we are all actors. So you have COVID-19 test kits imports by country in 2017. European Union, United States, Germany, China, France, Netherlands, Italy, United Kingdom. So what you're seeing is just test kits going back to 2017. Now, why is that important? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Why is that important? I'll let you say it. Why do you think that's important? Because shout out to everybody in the chat. So now you're starting to realize that the whole world is a stage, like I've been telling you. Right? The whole world is a stage, and that's why it's about to get crazier. Right? Everything is already planned. Everything is already staged. Everything. You see, a lot of people, like I told you, with the film, right? With the film industry, a lot of people, they are mesmerized by Hollywood. Okay? They're mesmerized by seeing things on the big screen. Little do they know, they're in the movie. Right? You see, people go and watch the films. They go and watch the movies and they forget they're in the greatest film ever. And this is why so many people are distracted. Let me give a huge shout out to everybody in the chat. Once again, deep divers, we're just flowing right now. Huge shout out to the offering. Let me give a huge shout out to Nick Berlingary. Much love, Ralph. I'm an officer in Canada. I will be quitting my job if they force a vaccination. Not having it. We should pick a place to meet so we can all grow and evolve together. Thoughts? Absolutely. What a wonderful comment. What a wonderful comment. Shout out to you. I appreciate the offering. What are my thoughts on that? That's the secret. You see, this is the secret of how people can rise once again. In the biggest way ever, Nick. I always say that we are the power. All we got to do is connect with who we really are. That's all we got to do. Once you connect with who you are, everything that's happening, it won't affect you. You will no longer have to bow down. It's a great idea, and that's what we're already doing right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You are appreciated. So another thing I found out, deep divers, let me just tell you this. You see, if you realize that all the information you were presented about what was happening on the planet, all the information is not exactly what they're telling you it is. And a lot of people are afraid right now. A lot of people are scared. I'm so scared. And I told you right now is not the time to be afraid of anything whatsoever. At all. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. So, a lion's literally waking up? Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of people are waking up, and it's happened. If you realize, deep divers, that the CDC okay, the CDC are coming out and they're starting to say, actually, we made a big mistake. We made a huge mistake. And this is what you're starting to see. Okay, this is what you're starting to see. So, CDC, 94% of COVID-19 deaths had underlying medical issues. CDC, 94% of COVID-19 deaths had underlying medical conditions. I repeat, CDC are coming out recently, a few days ago, saying 94% of COVID-19 deaths had underlying medical conditions. So if you realize, deep divers, you know, a lot of people are starting to wake up, even in the CDC. Say, whoops. I appreciate that. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Question. I'm conflicted because I live in a big city and I'll miss my family, but I'm contemplating moving to a state with more nature and build communal living. Is this the right step? Great question. Absolutely. You see, I told you that right now it's time to be as free as you can. Like somewhere in a place like this would be fantastic. Okay, tropical palm trees, nice turquoise seas behind you. Wouldn't be too bad, would it, deep divers? You know, little bit of music. Yeah, a place like that is fantastic, okay? Right now, it's all about being in nature. It's all about finding ways to get off the grid. That's what I'm doing every single day. But let me just tell you this. You see, the reason why a lot of people are trapped in this matrix, because they call it the matrix for a reason, okay? You saw the film The Matrix. The reason why a lot of people are trapped in the matrix for real is because a lot of people are tied in through their everyday lifestyle. A lot of people wake up and they got to go to a job they don't want. A lot of people are stuck because they're tied into the system. And this is how they keep you trapped. It's what Orwell said is the global dictatorship. And I told you, everything that's happening on the planet right now has got 1984 stamped all over it. So right now, this is a great time, great time to empower yourself, learn how to grow your own fresh fruits, vegetables, because you're going to need it now more than ever. You know, make sure you're hydrated, you're drinking enough water like this wonderful sister. Make sure you're in nature as much as you can, because this is going to be your salvation when everything collapses. And it's just around the corner. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again who's joining us in the live stream. Once again, deep divers, I hope your day is going good. One love to everybody. It's about to get crazy, because the lions are waking up. Let me just tell you this. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who is really starting to stand up. There have been protests all around the planet, deep divers, all around the globe, people standing up. And this is great to see. Fantastic to see. Because this is what we all have to do right now. Because I told you, this is coming. This is coming very, very soon. A whole new passport. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. You know, life is full of wonder, and this is what they want to take away from you. And I want you to remind yourself you got to stay wonderful. Let me give a huge shout out to X Most Highest. Another offering. Stepping away from the matrix, the distraction. Love yourself. Have a beautiful day. I appreciate that. And let me give a huge shout out to everybody who's been giving an offering. Let me give a huge round of applause to everybody who's moving the energy around. Huge round of applause to you. You see, deep divers, this is also part of the solution. Let me give a huge shout out to 33 in the house. Huge shout out to 33. It's gratitude time, deep divers. I told you. It's all about gratitude. You see, this is why I'm always grateful for all the deep divers who have been diving deep. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. So, special shout out to, let me give a special shout out to Valerie Morgan. Shout out to you. Cosmic love, infinite gratitude, much respect for you, Ralph 33, master teacher, chosen one. I love you, baby. The butterflies do too. And of course, the cat down the road. Hey, you are appreciated. Love reciprocal. Vegan is life. Valerie, I appreciate you. Let me drop a love bomb on you right now. Cause that's the way it's going down, baby. Oh, thank you. Oh. We said, oh, thank you, right? So, like I say, it's about appreciation. This is where we always have to start every single day. Gratitude and appreciation. You see, this is the thing, deep divers, which I also want to go into. Why the lions are waking up. Valerie, I appreciate that. You see, there's a big delay in getting information out. There's a big delay. There's also a tiny minority of people doing 90% of the work. A lot of people would love to share videos. Veganese, I appreciate you. Lioness Love, I appreciate you. High Priestess, shout out to you. Sending my offering to you. Thank you for inspiring and educating the masses. I appreciate everybody. Lewis, much love and light to you. Anita, I appreciate you. So I want to tell you this, deep divers. One of the solutions out of all of this is to support people who are doing the work. Support people who are helping humanity awaken. Support them. Because people need resources to share information. And this is how to stop everything from happening. There are people who are helping people, but at the same time, they're not getting the support they need. You know, deep divers are always supporting me. Always supporting me. And that's why I'm inspiring millions of people, YouTube Gold Award, all of that stuff. But there are people who don't have none of that, who are doing the work. You have to learn how to support people who are on the front lines. Because if you don't, what's going to be your future? If you don't, what's going to be your future? This is going to be your future. So it's all about gratitude to say, actually, let me support the people who are doing the work. Deep diver, shout out to everybody. We just magically landed on a beach. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Chosen one, I appreciate that. Let me give a huge shout out to Chosen One. Thank you for empowering. That's what's up. Good vibration. Shout out to you. And I told you, deep divers, we're starting off with gratitude. You know, the reason why I can share is because of all these amazing deep divers. Let me give a huge shout out to Good Vibrations. Huge shout out to Good Vibrations. Good Vibrations. Hey, Ralph, have you ever heard of Dr. Morse on YouTube? He has been helping people cure themselves of cancer, as well as other diseases for over 45 years with all fruit, diet, and herbs. Dr. Morse. The name sounds familiar. And that's wonderful. You see, that just, thank you for the offering. That just ties into, shout out to you, Chosen One, as well. I appreciate you. That just ties into everything that's happening right now on the planet. Christopher, I appreciate you once again. we got to make sure we're boosting our immune system right now more than ever. With so many things going around, we want to make sure, once again, we want to make sure we're eating that plant-based diet. Plain and simple. We want to make sure we are boosting our immune system, cleaning out our colon, purifying ourselves. And that's the thing, deep divers. You see, health is one of the biggest things that we need right now on the planet. Not just physical health, but also mental health. Because shout out to everybody diving deep once again. We need health more than ever right now. We need health more than ever. So make sure you are eating to live every single day. This is a great way to really boost your immune system. Plant-based diet. So let me just tell you this, deep divers. It's about to get crazy because the lions are waking up. This is probably a better background, right? Because we're talking about lions, so it's good to have a lion in the background. I'm almost scared of this lion right now. Please don't bite me. You see, one thing I want to tell you, let me give a huge shout out. Okay. Let me give a huge shout out to that offering right there. So many amazing deep divers. Anytime I see the chat room like this, what do I say? I can't believe how many amazing people are on this live stream. I love you. I can't. Right now, the lions are waking up. The lions are roaring because it's our time now. Let me give a huge shout out to Ashley Estrella. Okay. Let me give a huge shout out to Ashley. I appreciate that, Ashley. Thanks, Ralph. You inspire me. Much love to you. Words and wisdom. I'm grateful to have you in my life. Ashley, I appreciate that. You see, it's for people like you I make these videos for every single day. The ones who are grateful, the ones who are leaving an offering. And that's why I told you, deep divers. You see, right now, that's what it's all about. Okay, you're making me get my reggae groove on, Ashley. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat once again. I want to remind you of one thing. Ashley, I appreciate you. I want to remind you of one thing. Humanity has to band together right now and put aside their differences because it's about to get crazy. It's about to get crazy. So if you realize one thing that's happened, a very strange thing has happened on the planet. You might have noticed it, okay? It's called social distancing. And a lot of people You may have experienced it, deep divers. A lot of people are literally afraid of other people. Okay, with this social distancing thing that's going on, a lot of people are literally afraid of other people. And this is why right now it's time to say, oh my gosh, what on earth is happening? Have you ever asked yourself, deep divers, what is the future of concerts and public gatherings? And well, right now, that is slowly being erased. You know, what makes humanity so great? What makes humanity so powerful is the connection people have all around the world. And you have to remind yourself, never feel that other human beings are a threat to you. Nothing could be further from the truth. You see, divide and conquer is the name of the game. And just like this woman here, a lot of people are starting to change. And a lot of people are really going to change within the next 24 weeks. You heard it here first. So what I'm reminding you of is to realize that, like I said in the video, deep divers, we're all we got. We're all we got, right? We are all we have. Shout out to everybody in the chat once again. I see you. You are appreciated. I told you, I did the video. I appreciate everybody in the chat. December 21st, okay? December 21st. 2020, the world officially ends. Okay? You see, 2020 is actually 2012. 2020 is actually 2012. And December 21st, 2020 is the date the world as you know it will officially end. You better wake up, smell the coffee, because it's about to get very ugly. It's about to get extremely ugly. So, a lot of people are starting to realize that this is not just going to go away. No, it's not just going to go away, deep divers, unfortunately. You have to realize that this is war. You know, it's called spiritual warfare. Jamaica Scott, I appreciate you. Aba Lou, thank you, Ralph, for raising the frequency, raising the vibration. Always, I appreciate that. And see, I appreciate you. Healing, boosting immunity, meditation, nature, staying away from fear. I appreciate that. Hey, let me give a huge shout out. I saw you. 333. That's what I'm talking about, deep divers. This is the support I'm getting every single day. I got to say let me give a huge round of applause to you, Serene Grace. Can we get a round of applause for Serene Grace? This one's for you, Serene Grace. You know who you are. You know who you are. You know who you are. Serene Grace, you know who you are. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Serene Grace. And let me let's go 80s deep divers, just to show my appreciation to all the wonderful people in the chat. You see, in the 80s, the music was so amazing. It was high frequency, like a track like this. Let's go. That was for you, Serene. You know, that's just the love I'm getting, you know. We had to go 80s, right? We had to go 80s, baby. We had to take it there, okay? We had to take it there. Now let's go back to the beach. Like, let's go back to the beach, deep divers. What's good? Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. You are appreciated. I want to remind you of one thing. Energy. Let me just talk about energy. And see, I appreciate you. Let me just talk about energy and how this whole thing works. Let me just talk about energy and how this whole thing works. First and foremost, deep divers, I want you to remind yourself, like the great Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The reason why it's getting crazy is because they're messing with the energy, frequency, and vibration. And that's why the lions are waking up to say, actually, we have to protect our energy, frequency, and vibration. More than ever, a great way to do that is to head into nature. That's one of the best ways to do that. You see, this is what they want for you. They want you feeling helpless. They want you feeling powerless. They want you locked indoors. They want you in lockdown 24/7. They want to put a government mandated muzzle on your face every single day. What on earth is going on? But when you connect, it's over. And this is why the lioness and the lion is waking up. I told you, deep divers, got hibernation. I told you, deep divers, they're saying, hey, we ain't having it anymore. We ain't having it anymore. So I want to give a shout out to all the lions. You know who you are. All the lions who are roaring. You see, one thing about this universe, and this is what I had to realize. Let me give a huge shout out to Kim. We love you, Ralph, Grandmaster Teacher. I appreciate you, Kim. I feel the love, baby. One thing I had to remind myself of is that, you see, I told you about the numbers. I told you about the numbers. I told you about the numbers. I told you about the 1111. I told you about the 1111. Why more people are seeing 1111 more than ever? Because right now you are seeing the biggest mass awakening ever on the planet, because the lion is waking up. We've been in a big sleep, deep sleep. Like the great George Carlin said, they call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe in it. What? Slow motion this side. Let me give a huge shout out to everybody who is in the chat. You are appreciated. Deep divers, like I said, we're just warming up. We're just warming up. I appreciate everybody here. And this is a great time. Let me give a huge shout out to Serene Grace, okay? I got to express my gratitude to Serene Grace. Let me give a huge shout out to Serene Grace. 33311. That's powerful right there. Serene Grace, thank you for staying with your lion calling and for all you do for us. One love. What? 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 You're dropping the 33311?
Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble.
I thank you, Serene Grace, for that wonderful offering. You are appreciated. So it's about to get crazy. Shout out to everybody in the chat, because the lions are waking up. Like I started with, deep divers. Like I started with. The whole world is a stage. I want you to go on the website, okay? You can see this information. It's not hidden. It's right there. World Integrated Trade Solutions. So you're seeing all the trading that's happened. COVID-19 test kits, imports by country in 2017. European Union, United States, Germany, China, France, Netherlands, Italy, United Kingdom. So COVID-19 test kits, imports by country in 2017. What's happening? I repeat, 2017. Right? So I keep telling you, the whole world is a stage. And this is why when things seem like they just happen, nothing ever just happens, deep divers. It's called cause and effect. There are no accidents. Everything is happening for a reason. And many times it's because, especially in the Matrix, things have been planned long in advance. And that's why right now, you got to realize that you are, humanity speaking. me speaking for humanity, is that we're way behind. We're way behind because you got to remind yourself that a lot of people, they've been thinking of other scenarios. Okay, what will happen if humanity wake up? Then we got to do this, we got to do that. So you have to outsmart the whole system. You see, it's not a physical war people are in, it's a spiritual war people are in. It's called spiritual warfare. And this is an old age battle that's been happening for eons. And this is for the Lord of the Ring. In other words, this is for ownership of the entire planet. You see, a lot of people, they say, hey, I'm rich. I got some money. I told you, money is just the illusion for them because they print the damn stuff. They don't really look at money like, hey, I got to get rich. They say, hey, how can I control more people? And right now, this is the last chance humanity has to wake up, because if not, this is going to happen to you. If not, this is going to happen to you. You see, what is this, deep divers? This is the immunity passport I was telling you about. This immunity passport is really what they want to introduce. And the immunity passport is like, hey, if you ain't got vaccinated, if you don't have the ID, sit your ass down. You see, this is what they've been doing. This is the end goal, to have an immunity passport. And the immunity passport will say, if you have not been vaccinated, sit your ass down, you ain't going anywhere. So you got to realize that this is not too far away. And that's why it's about to get crazy. This is the time where people are starting to realize what I was trying to tell you about in 2019, in 2018, 2017, in 2016, in 2015. That you better wake your ass up, because you're about to be in for a rude awakening. See, one beautiful thing about lions, let me give a huge shout out to everybody in the chat. Magic Spells, Ralph, when are we going to hear about the communities, the get-togethers, retreats? We need each other and need to come together, let the tribes thrive. Absolutely. Well, that's what it's about. Like I say, we need each other now more than ever. There's a reason why I'm doing the live streaming, because I'm like, hey, I got to come from all angles. I got to put the information out at any time. We're coming together, but we have to all support each other. Kim, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in the chat. So what I want to tell you, deep divers, is that we mustn't lose sight of why we're here. We must never lose sight of why we're here. And I had to ask myself this question: what on earth am I doing on this planet? Was it just to be in fear? Was it just to be on Instagram every single day? And this is what they want for you. This is why a lot of people, they ain't got any fight left in them, because they're too busy comparing themselves to other people. So like I told you, they're planning 100 years ahead. And they said, hey, when we hit them with a COVID-19, guess what? They ain't even going to notice. They ain't even going to know. They ain't even going to notice what's hit them, because they're going to be on their phones. They won't even care about what the hell we're doing. They won't even care that, hey, Silence of the Lambs is actually happening. This is what they want for you. They won't even care about that because now they got everyone plugged into AI. This is what it's all about. It's all about the Neuralink, the Elon Musk chip inside of your brain. This is what it's all about. The singularity where artificial intelligence supersedes human intellect. So we're moving into transhumanism. We're moving into posthumanism. We're moving into singularity. This is what this is what's happening. Soon, there ain't going to be any human beings left because have you noticed, deep divers? Not only are people trapped in social media, Instagram, Facebook, but a lot of people are also just blindly doing what they're told. You see, George Orwell, when he wrote the book 1984, oh my gosh, wait a minute, that's 1984, right? Because that's the book by George Orwell, Deep Divers. It's called 1984. If you haven't read it, you better read it. And if you haven't read Feel Alive by Ralph Smart, you also better read it. Feel Alive by Ralph Smart, the book. Get it on Amazon, get it on ralphsmart.com/the book. Great book. But another great book is 1984. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. George Orwell was warning you about what's going to happen. Now, the reason why 1984 is so powerful is because 1984 is actually happening right now. This is why I told you, deep divers, you better wake up because it's about to get real. It's about to get real ugly. At the same time, very beautiful at the same time, if you can see what's happening. Let's go deep diving. I want to tell you this, first and foremost, shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. We're just starting. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. I hope your day is going good. Let me give a huge shout out to everybody who's just joining us. We are the power, deep divers. We always were, and we always will be. New Leo, I appreciate that. Shout out to New Leo. 5555 coming in with a 5-5 energy. Let me give a huge shout out to New Leo 2021. And I like that. The new lion that's emerging in 2021. Much love, Ralph, as you've helped me and millions of other people wake up and stay the course. Now it's time for the rest of us to join in to contribute our insight, message, and find a way of taking part by coming together. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what it's about, deep divers. That's what it's really about. You see, we got to put our minds together right now because we are all we have. We are all we have. You see, I want to tell you this. Let me tell you this. New Leo, I appreciate that. Thank you for the offering. Let me tell you this, deep divers. There's a reason why I've been doing what I've been doing for so long is because this is what I came here to do. And this is why I told you, you have to really know one thing, that not everybody's supposed to be doing the same thing. Not everyone is allowed to do certain things based on their soul contracts. There's a reason, there's a lot of celebrities who also even watch my videos. A lot of celebrities are awake as well, but they can't say anything. And I don't even recommend them talking about anything. They better shut up, sit down and be quiet. Because once again, they chose a different path. Just imagine I was a Hollywood actor. I couldn't say shit because I'm under contract. I'm under contract by the industry. If I was a mainstream music artist, I wouldn't be talking about what I'm talking about. It's not a wise thing to do because you already signed. You already signed your life away to another entity. So you got to remind yourself, deep divers. A lot of people say, Ralph, how come you're still making videos after all this time? I tell them because I'm the chosen one. What? Slow motion this side. But you got to realize it's all in the numbers. It's all in the numbers of what you're supposed to be doing on the planet. I'm always protected, always divinely favored because I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is the gift of the lions waking up. You see, you got to choose, deep divers. You got to choose. You got to say, hey, what am I going to choose right now? Am I going to choose freedom or am I going to choose slavery? It's plain and simple. I had to get out and say, hey, let me free myself. Let me start knowing who I really am. Let's take a trip to ancient Kemet. Uh-oh. Because it all goes back to ancient Egypt. I do hope you know that. I had to start knowing who I really was and what's really going on the planet. And then I started to realize that everything in this matrix is designed to keep you asleep. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Everything is designed to keep you asleep, to keep you always outside of yourself. And this is why it's about to get crazy. Because what you have on the planet is other people policing other people. Let me give a huge shout out. We're just warming up. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I hope your day is going good, deep divers. And let me give a huge shout out to Afrocentric Vegan. I appreciate that. Let me give a huge shout out to Afro Vegan. I like that name. Afrocentric Vegan. I appreciate that. 1010. All the numbers are aligned right now. Oh, baby. Let me give a huge shout out to the 22. Huge shout out to the 22. Miss Dimples 88. Coming in with a 2-2 energy. I appreciate you. Much love to you, Ralph. Do you remember that cartoon, The Pinky and the Brain? I'm not having no kind of chip in my brain or anywhere on my body. I'm so good over here. We ain't having it. What? Slow motion this side. I love how you said, I'm so good over here. We ain't having it. Let me really just drop a love bomb on that because that one deserves it. Let's go. Yeah, that's powerful. And this is the mentality. This is why I told you the lions are waking up. Much love to you, Ralph. Do you remember that cartoon, Pinky in the Brain? I'm not having no kind of chip in my brain or anywhere on my body. I'm so good over here. We ain't having it. Shout out to you. Now, you see, one thing I want to remind you of, deep divers. we are sovereign beings. We have to hold on to our freedom, because once that's gone, there isn't going to be anything else left. Kid Kurt, I appreciate you out here chilling in 5D. Whole lot of grasshoppers. That's what's up. Butterflies, good ass, prana, and love. Sending infinite gratitude your way, Ralph. Smart. Recently went vegan after being vegetarian for 3 years. Woo! The cat down the road. I'm so happy for you. Right? Let me give a huge shout out to Danyua. One love, Ralph. Smart. We will prevail. The creator in us will move mountains. One love, one people. We are the chosen. Absolutely. Absolutely. We got to roar right now. We got to roar. You got to roar. I'm roaring every single day, because I know that the reason why it got to this state is because a lot of people fell asleep. You know, Nas said, I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. You always want to keep one eye open. Like CBS. Right? You always want to keep one eye open to say, hey, what's really going on? You see, I told you. And if you're just joining me, I told you there was a big news about the CDC, okay? CDC. 94% of COVID-19 deaths had underlying medical conditions. This is an actual news report. Just Google it. Okay, so here you have the CDC just coming out just now saying 94% of COVID-19 deaths had underlying medical conditions. Do you really know how significant that is? So they're just saying, basically, we haven't been telling the whole truth at all. Because now they're saying, actually, well, you know, they had underlying health conditions. So this is why things are getting very interesting on the planet, because the story keeps changing, because people are starting to wake up. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you all. Appreciated. 555. Afrocentric, I appreciate you. 999, trying to align my chakras. Love your content. And keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in the chat, deep divers. Now, one thing I want to remind you. A lion has no fear. That's why it's the king of the jungle. And you have to remind yourself every single day, you got to let love guide you, not fear. Because when you move out of that fear frequency, it's over. It is absolutely over. And I keep telling you, you see, this is what I had to realize. You see, the world we're living in is not what we think it is. When you realize it's a kind of matrix, a kind of simulation. And because of this, you don't have to be afraid of anything. You know, nobody's coming to get you. Because this is a simulation. And this is what a lot of people, they don't want people to know. That you can bend reality. You can bend time. You can become the architect of the matrix and design this whole thing. See, the Matrix wasn't a film, it was an actual documentary. What? Slow motion this side. So you got to ask yourself, am I in someone else's program or am I creating my own program? So in the Matrix, Neo woke up from the dream world and he woke up to the real world. And this is why the lions are waking up. They're waking up from the dream world. The dream world was like, hey, I'm just asleep right now. They're starting to wake up and say, oh my gosh, it's time to free ourselves. Because you see, deep divers, this is what they want for you. Coronavirus precautions, no entry without immunity passport. A lot of people are saying, wait a minute. We ain't having it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers. We're just having fun right now. We got a beautiful chat room right now. We got a beautiful chat room right now, deep divers. That's powerful. That's a powerful statement right now. And this is why I say, lions are waking up, because it's about to get crazy. If it's not already crazy, right? Zentia Infinite, I appreciate you. That's a great comment. That's a great comment. Shout out to Zentia Infinite 369, baby. The way people are in their phones, that is the zombie apocalypse. Oh my gosh, absolutely. And that's why I told you, deep divers. You see, there's a reason why a lot of people are blindly accepting what's going on. Because a lot of people are trapped in artificial intelligence. See, a lot of children, they are trapped here. This is where they're trapped. So they can't get out. They're trapped on their phone. And right now, we got to free ourselves of being programmed by these devices, because they were created not to enlighten you. They were designed to distract you from what's really going on. Do you know that video games are huge? 77, I appreciate that. Let me give a huge shout out to 77 in the house. Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. We're just having fun right now. Miss Dimples 88. Shout out to Miss Dimples 88. Sorry for the spelling. I'm on the road driving my truck, shaking my head. Love you, Ralph. You helped me get through my road trips. That's what's up. Miss Dimples, I got you. I got you, Miss Dimples. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody right now in this chat, deep divers. All the deep divers who are diving deep. Now, one thing I want to remind you of, deep divers. Kimber, I appreciate you. One thing I want to remind you of is that connection is needed. There's a reason why I make videos in nature every single day. I stay connected. There's a reason why every single day I'm in nature. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Is because nature will free you. Nature will always heal you. And if you realize lockdown, symbolically speaking, is to keep people away from nature. That's what this is all about. And it's to turn people into the human barcode. And this is why lions are waking up all around the world to say, wait a minute, we ain't having it. Even dolphins are waking up, deep divers, okay? Dolphins are waking up. Dolphins. Can we play some Caribbean music right now and just get the dolphin vibe going? Hey, that's enough. That's enough. We just needed to see some dolphins right now. So that's the whole thing. We have to be as connected to nature as possible, because all of this is to keep people not only away from other people, not only this, but it's to keep people away from other people. And we have to spend as much time in nature, as much time in natural environments. You know, I'm a psychologist, deep divers as well. And there's something called seasonal affective disorder. And what that is that people often have a lot of depression in the winter months when it's cold, when they're always indoors. It affects people's mood. So in Australia, they've still got lockdown. I got friends in Sydney, friends in Victoria, and it's a nightmare over there. And it's only going to get worse unless you say we ain't having it. Shout out to everybody diving deep right now. You are appreciated, deep divers. Let me give a huge shout out to the one like Kimber. I appreciate you, Kimber. Hankinson. Ralph, I tried to send 1111, but 999 was only triple number it would let me send. Love your content. Can you speak of what we can expect on December 21st, 2020? What's going to happen? And how can we prepare? That's a great question. Well, I actually did the whole video. December 21st, 2020, the world is ending. And when I say the world is ending, I'm not talking that Earth is going to be destroyed. No, the world, your freedom is ending. Because that's the date. 2020 is actually 2012. Is 2012 right now in the Ethiopian Orthodox calendar, one of the oldest calendars on the planet. The Mayan calendar ended December 21st, 2012. We're in 2012 right now. And you got to remind yourself, the world is ending. Every 25,920 years, we have what we call the Great Year. The precession of the equinoxes. And Earth makes a full cycle. That's what's happening. We are entering the age of Aquarius right now as I speak. And this is why this is all happening, because I told you Earth is going to split. Earth is going to split. You know, it's going to be old Earth and new Earth. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Deep divers were just warming up, doing a little samba, baby. Lynn Winters, I appreciate you, Lynn. 1111, sending the family vibe tribe a huge dose of loud love, one love, Lynn. I appreciate you, Lynn. Thank you so much for that. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat, everybody who's diving deep. So I really want to remind you, deep divers, that there's a reason why all of this is happening right now. Because not only are we in 2012, but we're entering a whole new age. It's called the age of Aquarius. That's what it's all about. We're leaving the age of Pisces. Now there's a saying, deep divers, okay? Millionaires don't study astrology. Billionaires do. What? Slow motion this side. Say it again, Ralph. Millionaires do not study astrology. Billionaires do. Say it one more time, Ralph. Millionaires do not don't study astrology. Billionaires do. You see, when you dive deeper, people with a lot of wealth in this matrix, because let's just say, you know, richest man alive apparently is Jeff Bezos, okay? Bill Gates. Once upon a time it was Mansa Musa. Okay. But we'll go with Jeff Bezos. Okay. Richest man in the Matrix. They all study astrology. They all study the movements of the planets. And that's why they hold the power. You know, so you got to remind yourself that we aren't only governed, we're governed by the planets around us. And they know this. And that's why you have to remind yourself that you really want to be aware. Even the time you were born, the numbers don't lie. The numbers never lie. You better do your birth chart. You better know what the hell you're here to do on the planet. Graceful breakthroughs. I appreciate that. Let me give a huge shout out to Graceful Breakthroughs. I appreciate you, Graceful Breakthroughs. One love to you. You didn't leave a comment or question, but I'm sending you so much love back. So, like I was saying, you're dealing with people who really study. Like, people study, but the people who control the planet, they really study. They study on steroids kind of study, meaning that they are in power because they don't take a day off. I always tell you, deep divers, evil doesn't take a day off. Why should I? What? Slow motion this side. So you got to ask yourself, why are these people working every single day to lock down the planet, to make your life a living misery? Because you got to remind yourself, they have agendas and they have things to do. Important things to do, not just TikTok kind of things to do. They got agendas to lock your ass down forever kind of things to do. And the reason why this can happen is because from the moment you were born, you were only groomed to be a sheep. That's all. You were only groomed to be a sheep, nothing more, nothing less. That was the future they said for you. Hey, in this life, you're going to be a sheep. Now, if you've ever actually been in the presence of a sheep, one thing you notice about sheep is that they're very innocent, meaning that they do whatever they're instructed to do. They don't really question much. They just go with the flow. If everyone is walking in a direction, they follow. And this is why, you know, they got humanity by the balls. But something is happening, deep divers. Oh, lions are starting to wake up. And it's out with the sheeps. And right now, you are seeing the rise of the lion. You see, lions don't play around. Okay, lions ain't smiling all the time. They're ready for war. Lions are prepared for battle. They're not following you. There's a reason why, you know, people don't have lions as pets. Because if you have a lion as a pet, it's probably going to eat you. Lions mean business. Kathy Johnson, I appreciate that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Jewel, I appreciate that. I must do this for my alignment. Oh, that's a powerful statement right there. I must do this for my alignment. Let me pull that comment up. The chat is going so fast. But Jewel, I see you. I must do this for my alignment. Woo! I'm doing that one for you, Jewel. Woo! I must do this. I'm writing that down right now. Mike B, I appreciate you. Thank you, Ralph, for all you do. Quick question. What do you think about the movie They Live? Great question. Orlando Braid. Thank you. I appreciate that. 7-7. Let's go. Let's go. Deep divers, one love to you. Okay, so there was a film called They Live. And you see, the film They Live, let me see if I can pull up some clips. But the film They Live was powerful. You see, the film They Live was just about this guy who was really starting to wake up. He was starting to realize that everything he was seeing in society was fake. They live, right? Obey. He was putting on these glasses and he was seeing stuff. Okay? And this is what's happening right now. But that's a powerful film, They Live. That's a powerful film. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Go and watch it, deep divers. But yeah. In the film They Live, in a nutshell, he was basically putting on glasses and seeing billboard posts and realizing that they had subliminal messages in them. Obey, conform, all of that stuff. So They Live was also another warning that the world you are living in is not what you think. Prince, I appreciate that. Shout out to you. If we are in 2012, let me bring up that comment. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. You are appreciated, deep divers. We're just having fun. Prince. If we are in 2012, then all the horoscopes and astrology time is wrong. Can you make a video about life path numbers and astrology? That's a great question. We got to remind ourselves, deep divers, everything is a bit wrong in this matrix because everything is in reverse. You know, for example, if you look at the November, if you look at October, these months are not what they should be because we're living in a Gregorian calendar. So November is the 11th month, right? It should be number 9. That's another story. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. You are deep divers. We're just diving deep right now. You know, one thing I always know, deep divers, is that even if it's crazy, we're still going to have fun, baby. We're still going to have fun. We're still going to have fun. But the reason why it's getting crazy is because, see, a lot of people thought this would pass. A lot of people thought, hey, you know, it's only going to last for a few months and then we just get through it and that would be it. But a lot of people don't realize you weren't just meant to get through this. You were supposed to accept this as your new way of life. They don't want you to get through it. This ain't an exam. They want you to suffer and be in this position forever. So they're pushing for the new normal. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, we're just having fun. No cap. Tony Vernal 1111, I appreciate you. You know, one thing, like I said, the reason why it's going to get crazy and the reason why the lions are waking up, because right now we have to band together more than ever. We have to band together with other lions. You know, there's a reason why Lions move in a pack because it's strength in numbers. So all the lions out there, all the lions, unite. It's time to put aside egos, differences, because if the ship goes down, everyone's going down as well. If the ship goes down, everyone's going down. There will be no survivors. So you have to remind yourself that we all have to help each other now more than ever, because when things start to get real, right now it's still lukewarm. The temperature's just rising a little bit, but it still hasn't become very hot yet. When it becomes very hot yet, you're going to say, oh my gosh, this whole thing is crazy. What's this new passport all about? Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat, deep divers. So one thing I noticed, and I was talking to a woman who noticed me. She said, Ralph Smart, is that you? I said, no, it's not. She said, okay, then I'm going to pretend it's you. A lot of people, especially in the media, they don't give you solutions about how to protect yourself in a time like this. Have you noticed that, deep divers? They don't offer solutions. Well, I'm going to give you one solution. You have to remind yourself, this here is the lowest frequency. What fear does to you on a biochemical level is that it shuts down your immune system. It suppresses your immune system. So anytime you are in a fear state, you are putting your immune system in jeopardy. You're compromising your immune system, which leads to poor health. And this is why a lot of people are in big trouble, because fear is the greatest pandemic on the planet. Fear is the greatest pandemic on the planet. Now, shout out to everybody in the chat. We have to move from that frequency. We have to let go of that frequency. Because this frequency is the frequency you can be controlled in. It's very, very easy to control people in this frequency. Like Nikola Tesla said, the great scientist, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This vibration here is extremely low frequency. But also, when you are in a fear state, you hand over power. And this is why you have to make sure you never allow yourself to be in this state. You see, one thing I tell you, deep divers, you got to remind yourself, and this is what I had to learn, okay? I had to learn this. Deep divers. Let's go 80s. Let's go 80s, okay? I had to learn this. That, you see, first and foremost, shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you are appreciated, deep divers. We're just having fun. Doing a little samba, baby. Baby. A lot of people think, and this is a mindset which is it's in the minds of a lot of people, millions of people. If I just do what I'm told, I'm going to be safe. Have you ever met someone like that? Hey, if I just shut up, be quiet, I'm going to be safe. Absolutely not. And this is why I tell you that you have to remind yourself that there's an Arabic word called maktub, okay? And the word maktub means it was written. That's what maktub means. It was written. And when you realize this is what all the ancients knew, okay? This is what all the ancients knew. They knew that it was written, okay? Maktub, it was written. So, if you really study that word, you won't have fear. Okay, if you really study that word, it was written, you won't have fear. See, this is how the nature of reality works. And this is what I had to remind myself of. You know, there's nothing to be afraid of because it's already been written in stone. And when you realize this, you start to realize that, hey, you know, there are people who do everything right. You know, they work in the matrix, they do this, they do that, but they still meet the same fate. So this is not the time to try and win brownie points. If I'm a goody goody two shoes, no. You got to remind yourself that there is no reward for sucking up. What? Slow motion this side. There is no reward for sucking up. There is a reward for being brave, because that reward is going to be your freedom. What? Deep divers. That reward is going to be your freedom. You know, that's what I had to learn. That's what I had to learn. And that's why I had to get out of the matrix. Real fast, deep divers, real fast. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. I appreciate you, deep divers. Let me send a huge shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you. King David TV. Shout out to King David. Are you really King David? Shout out to King David in the house. Shout out to King David. Hey, Ralph, what if our twin flame has lost their way and doesn't find their way back in time for the event? Ooh! That's a great question. That's a great question. That's a great question. I appreciate the offering. Let me tell you this, that you see, this is going to be a very testing time for humanity, because a lot of people, and it could even be someone who you are romantically involved with, they could have another opinion about what's going on. But in more times than not, your twin flame has a similar consciousness to you. But at the same time, look, we're living in a crazy ass world right now. Okay, a lot of twin flames arguing, going in different directions. One of them is the runner. Yeah, it happens like that. And there's so much information, a lot of us can get lost. You know, there are people who say, hey, COVID-19 is real. Get vaccinated, just be safe. Okay, so there are a lot of people like that on the planet, deep divers. And you might be in a relationship with someone like that. You might be in a relationship with someone who's telling you to get vaccinated. It could even be your twin flame. Uh-oh. So you ask, what if our twin flame has lost their way and doesn't find a way and doesn't find their way back in time for the event? Whew. I would always say this: communication first and foremost. Communication. You see, that's what you got to do. You got to communicate with your twin. You have to communicate with your twin at all times. You have to realize that, fun and games happen in a relationship, but with times like these, sometimes people, they change. Lockdown is making a lot of people change, especially in relationships, because now it's all about which side are you on. See, I told you, this is why it's about to get crazy, because right now it's all about which side are you on, you see. And you have to remind yourself, deep divers, not everyone's going to make it, unfortunately. The cat down the road is, though. But not everyone's going to make it. Even your own friends and family, some of them aren't going to make it because they are so programmed in the matrix. In the matrix. And when you realize everyone wakes up at a different time, it could take 20 years for them to wake up, 30 years. It could take next week. It could take 5 years. But it's all about you asking, how much time do I have to wait for someone who's trapped in the matrix? See, I realized a long time ago, part of being a lion is to realize that you have to sometimes realize not everyone's built like you. Not everyone's built like you. Not everyone can roar like you. Not everyone's as passionate as you. You see, this programming in this matrix, it goes so deep that some people can hear with one ear, but then it goes out the other one. King Das, I appreciate that. Geo tripping, I appreciate you. What does it sound like inside a hollow sphere? People diving deep right now. KD Das, astrology has the answers. I appreciate you. Dragon Skies. Ralph, do you know about the new spirit war starting on the winter solstice? Well, I told you. December 21st, 2020. The world officially ends as we know it. And I'm not talking about a physical ending, okay? I'm not talking about just this. Or maybe this as well. I'm talking about it's going to be an ending of everything. There's a reason why there's economic collapse right now on the planet. The Statue of Liberty represents liberty, freedom. But this is collapsing. This is disappearing off the planet because a lot of people have got this as the new way of life for them. A lot of people had big dreams, big hopes, big plans, and they've got to deal with this. So we have to realize things are getting serious on the planet. This as well. You see, this is an actual needle. A tiny chip. By the way, deep divers, the cat down the road saying it loves you. Have you been missing the cat down the road, deep divers? Have you been missing the cat down the road? You see, the cat down the road is so calm right now, it's unbelievable. Because it has no fear. And you got to really learn from the cat down the road, deep divers. And that's another thing. One thing I realized, deep divers, is that shout out to everybody in the chat once again. We're just diving deep, deep divers. Let me give a shout out to Alexis28. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in the chat. This is your show, deep divers. This is your show. Elysis 28. Thank you for the offering. They are dividing us, so we will choose being human or being cyborg in the CERN beast system. Absolutely. That's the choice we have to make right there. We have to choose between being human or being cyborg. You know, this is inevitable. And this is why a lot of people are starting to realize why this is all tied into artificial intelligence. What happens if you can't touch anybody? What happens if you can't go outside of your house? What happens if you can't even move around the place? There's only one reality left for you. Only one reality left for you. It's called this reality, deep divers. This is the only one left. This is what they want for your children. This is the only reality left. And you have to say, wait a minute, we ain't having it. Because this reality of artificial intelligence is what it's all about. So what I want to remind you of is that, like Elysis 28 said, it's a choice between being human or being cyborg. You know, do you think Neuralink is a joke? Do you think Neuralink is a joke? That's the question. Because you got to remind yourself, they already planned this. They already planned the Neuralink for you. They already planned the Neuralink for you. Neuralink. Do you think that's a joke? Oh, it's already here. It's a little chip inserted inside of your brain to control everything about you, but also to track your every single move. And is it really that hard to believe? Is it really that hard to believe? Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. The lions are waking up. You know, one way we find our power in all of this is to remind ourselves that one way we are free is when we connect with who we really are. Does this man look like he's afraid? Does this man look like he's afraid? No. Why? Because he's going inside of who he really is. That's the secret, deep divers. That's the secret right here. Does this woman look like she's afraid? This beautiful sister? Absolutely not, because she's going inside of herself. That's the solution. That's the solution. So anytime you feel lost, discouraged, remind yourself you've got a whole universe inside of yourself. You see, they don't want you connecting right here, doing your yoga, doing your Tai Chi. Breathing in the good ass prana, baby. Right? So remind yourself, that's your get out of jail card. You know, nature is your get out of jail card, okay? Mother Nature is your get out of jail card. You going within yourself is your get out of jail card. That's the place you're always safe. Shout out to everybody diving deep in the chat. Ooh, that's a slow motion right there. Murat, I appreciate that. That's a great comment. That's a great comment. Shout out to Murat. Okay. And what he said, Deep Divers, is very powerful. Very, very powerful indeed. We are meant to be using technology and using... Wait a minute. We are meant to be using technology and love human beings. Instead, we are using people and loving technology. This needs to stop and start. Reverse this evil. We are life process. Okay, I get you. Wonderful. Absolutely. We are meant to be using technology and loving human beings. Instead, we are using people and loving technology. What? Slow motion this side. Absolutely, Deep Divers. That's the secret of everything. We have to be loving human beings and not technology. But like I told you, everything is in reverse. You try and take someone's phone away from them, they're literally going to kill you. Don't do that. Deep Diver, shout out to everybody in the chat. It's about to get crazy. The lions are waking up. What happens, and this is why I told you, there have been protests all around the world. All around the world, people have been waking up. And rightly so. But I told you, they're kind of downplaying the mass protests and things that are happening on the planet. There was a protest in Trafalgar Square. There were protests in Berlin. There have been protests all around the world. Because people are waking up saying, hey, we ain't having it. But the one thing is that if you notice how they report on the protests, they say, for example, in Trafalgar Square, they said 10,000 conspiracy theorists gathered. And these crazy people thought it's all a hoax. So we have to be mindful of that and remind ourselves that they want to make you, it's called gaslighting, and you have to never allow yourself to be gaslighted, which is when you question your own sanity. If you really feel like I say, you're living in a free world, and you have to remind yourself, nobody should tell you what you can and can't think. First and foremost, you are free to think whatever you want. You are free to always think whatever you want. Don't let anybody say, hey, you can't think this, you can think that. Shout out to everybody diving deep in the chat. Well, a lot of people ask that. A lot of people are asking what is really happening right now. What is really going on right now? A lot of people, and this shouldn't surprise you, Deep Divers. You see a woman wearing a face mask. This is the normal on the planet right now. Okay? This is the normal. This is the normal on the planet. So I want to tell you this. Right now is the greatest opportunity to turn this thing around. Right now is the greatest opportunity to unite and stand together. So it's a choice. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. But you have to remind yourself of one thing. you are going to have to get smarter than the system. And one way I got smarter than the system, we call it the matrix, right? Is to realize that nobody is actually running the matrix. This is the biggest realization I had. You know, a lot of the times you think someone is controlling everything. No. You are actually in control. Always. You're always in control of everything. It's just that a lot of people are fast asleep. They forgot that you can literally turn this whole thing around just by going inside of yourself. Just by also uniting. You know, right now, human beings got to come together. They got to come together. And that's what's happening. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So, Jess, I appreciate that. Shout out to everybody. Jesse, what difference will this physical microchip make when our minds are being tapped into it through the energy vibrations we are emitting and receiving? Are already an easy way for the inorganic ones to control us? Okay. Shout out to you. I appreciate the offering. I appreciate everybody here. Now, you're asking, what difference will this physical microchip make? Okay. So she's asking, deep divers, what physical difference will this microchip make when we're actually emitting and receiving energy vibrations? Isn't there an easier way for the inorganic ones to control us? Well, we got to remind ourselves that a microchip is probably one of the best ways to control a human being. Why? Because just imagine if they put a chip inside of you the moment you were born. They will always know where you are, but also they can use it as a social credit system. And you know, that's what this is all about. Let's get wavy, deep divers. You know, like I say, I'm smiling because the microchip is not going to be in my reality. What? Slow motion this side. Right? No microchips here. Right? Because we ain't having it over here. But a lot of people will accept it because they're going to say, hey, it's for your safety. You know, just like the vaccination is also for your safety. Make sure you get it because it's going to keep you safe. So a lot of people will. They'll get it because they say, hey, I want to stay safe. But a lot of people, especially the lions, are going to say, wait a minute, we ain't having that crap. You know, one thing you got to remind yourself of, deep divers, is that, you know, as beautiful as this planet is, you know, it's a beautiful planet. You know, I can go anywhere right now. I can go to Bora Bora. I can also go to ancient Greece if I want. See, everything I'm doing with this green screen, you can also do in the mental and spiritual planes. What? Slow motion this side. You can time travel, deep divers. You can literally go anywhere. And this is what they don't want you to know about. When you free yourself from the matrix, you can do exactly what I'm doing right now. You can jump. You can jump. You can go back to ancient Egypt. Let's go to Egypt. Let's go to Egypt. We're right here. What's up, Egypt? What's up, Egypt? You can jump, right? You can time travel, baby. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you. Manish, shout out to you, Manish. That's a great question. That's a great question. A great comment, shall I say. Great comment by Manish. Great comment. I appreciate the offering. Thank you, everybody who's diving deep. A crisis is an opportunity to shatter rigid behavior trapped within. That's powerful. That's powerful right there, deep divers. A crisis is an opportunity to shatter rigid behavior trapped within. Absolutely. 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 You see, what's happening right now on the planet, deep divers, is one of the greatest opportunities for humanity to rise. Like the lion it is. It's one of the greatest opportunities right now. Shout out to everybody diving deep in the chat. It's about to get crazy. The lions are waking up. I'm not just here to give you information about what's happening. I'm here to also give you a way out. You know, and one thing I do know is that you're going to need to find a way out. Just like Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption. You're going to need to find a way out of the prison. You better go underground. You better start digging. Because everything has been planned a long time ago. Everything that's happening has been planned a long time ago. What happens if you plan something way in advance? You can think of all the possible outcomes. You can say, okay, this may not work, that will work, this may not work. Maybe human beings will protest, okay, then we're going to do this. They can always counterattack because they already know your next move. You know, like my great chess teacher taught me, Ralph, you always got to think one step ahead. And that's what you got to do to free yourself. You got to remind yourself that you can say no. You know, I did a whole video. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Protect your energy. Huge shock, right? Highly sensitive people and empaths. You can say no to what's happening. You can say no. This is part of the solution. This is a way out to say, actually, I can say no. I can say no. You can do that. You can actually do that. A lot of people don't actually know they can do that, but they can actually do that. They can actually say no. And this is where you find your way out. You may not be popular. At the same time, all the geniuses were never popular, but that's what made them genius, right? You can say no. You know, I told you, how they're going to get you is by gaslighting you. You have to know what gaslighting is in a relationship. It's when you make someone question their own sanity. So you're like, hey, it's all inside of your head. You think COVID-19 is a hoax? How dare you? You're going crazy. You're mad. you're a lunatic. So this is how they control you. It's called gaslighting. And you have to say, no, I'm not going to be gaslighted. I'm going to hold on to what I believe in. You see, this is the way out. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We're having fun, deep divers. I see all of you. How has it been for you as well, deep divers? Let me know. Let me know how your own journey has been. Let me know what's been on your mind. Very important. It is alive. Just said it right here. You just took the words right out of my mouth. It is alive. Shout out to you. You just took the words right out of my mouth. Right out of my mouth. This is an opportunity to change history and so to change your life. What? Let's get a round of applause for that. Thank you so much for that beautiful comment. Shout out to everybody in the chat. That was powerful. This is an opportunity now to change history and so change your life. Wow. Come on, let's clap, deep divers. This is an opportunity now to change history and so change your life. You know, one thing I realized, deep divers, the universe gives strong people strong challenges. And a lot of lions are very strong. Sometimes they get the hardest challenge. You know, everything that's happening on the planet is a big challenge, but also the biggest opportunity to change history forever. This thing can go either way right now. This can be the greatest we ain't having it story in the history of the planet, or it could be the greatest prison. It's all on you. You know, I'm doing my bit. You got to say, hey, what am I doing? You know, am I using my platform? Am I putting a message out there? Am I using my social media, or am I just quiet? You know, one thing about being silent, deep divers, I told you, there's no rewards. No rewards. There's only a slaughterhouse waiting for you. But if you can, I don't have to be afraid anymore. Actually, I can stand tall, I can stand firm, I can roar. You know, people are going to listen. People are listening to you right now. You know, there is such a tremendous shift on the planet right now. It's unbelievable. Because the lions are waking up. And I told you, it's going to start from the youth. It's going to start from the youth. You know, I'm young, deep divers. I'm young. Forever young, baby. Forever young. There's a lot of people who are younger than me who are really dropping some great knowledge. And this is what gives me hope to say, actually, the lions are waking up, you see. Black Heights, therapy is also key. I appreciate you, Black Heights. Thank you. Absolutely. Therapy is also key. How can we heal ourselves with therapy? One way is called nature therapy. Go and find a waterfall. Another way is to just sit with yourself. Just sit with yourself. This is the greatest therapy ever known to man and woman on the planet. Do you know what meditation does to your brain? Just 8 weeks of meditation literally changes your entire brain structure. It's called neuroplasticity. And this is why they don't teach meditation in schools. Because if you learn how to meditate, you're out of this dimension. You're in the 5D, baby. You gone. You've left Earth. You're in a higher frequency vibration. You're out of the 3D, you're into the next level. And this is why it's so important to practice that early meditation. In other words, start when you're young. If you've got a child, a son, a daughter, show them the power of meditation. Because once they connect, it's over. It's over. You know, one thing is that a lot of people, they don't know the joy of meditation. Sometimes I'm meditating, I just zone out. Wake up, say, oh my gosh, I'm back. I'm back. But when you meditate, you start to realize how much of an illusion everything is. You see, I was like this guy. Back in the day, I was just like him, sitting on the sofa, not doing much. And this is why a lot of humanity, they get caught up in the matrix. Because they just watch. They just watch the news. They never really question what's going on. And you have to say, wait a minute, I can't just do that all the time. I got to start waking up. Because so long as you are in the box, it's over. So long as you are plugged into that machine, it's over for you. But once you wake up, you say, hey, I'm going to connect with who I am. Once you do that, once you start taking back your power, you free yourself from control, free yourself from slavery, and a whole new world is created for you. And this is why the lions are waking up on the planet. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers were just warming up. We ain't even started yet. We got all day. We got all day. We got all night. How's everybody doing today? And that's great to hear. You see, a lot of people are already doing it. And this is what gives me hope to see that people are doing it. People are doing it. You see, electro vibes. Our preschool class meditates daily. I'm determined to give our little ones the game they need to get through this crazy place. That's amazing. That's amazing, because that's where it starts. You know, that's where habit starts. Something about how this whole thing works is that everything has to do with the first 7 years of your life. This is what they don't teach you. The first 7 years of your life govern everything. And this is how they get people. They get them when they're young. So you got to remind yourself, if you programmed in the first 7 years of your life to do this, that's all you're going to know. That's all you're going to know. So you have to remind yourself that this is who it's really for. You know, everything that's happening on the planet is not for you. It's for the children who are about to be born, because that's all they're going to know. They're going to wake up, face mask, vaccination. That's their whole life. So in those first 7 years, that's when the subconscious mind is programmed, and they're going to absorb all of that information. And therefore, this is going to be their new reality. and you ain't going to tell them anything. So that's why I told you. This is way deeper than just you. This is about your children. Because once they hit you with a shot, once they hit you with that shot, it's over. Lights out. Good night. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. We're having fun today, deep divers. We're having fun right now. So let me tell you this. We got a question that came in. Let's go to it. Christina Perrick. Ralph, what does the exact work we need to rebel look like? What exactly can we do? I appreciate the offering, Christina. I appreciate everybody in the chat. You are loved. I love you all. That's a great question. For me, the rebellion looks like you making sure your so-called job, because that's what they call it in the Matrix, your lifestyle is helping the situation, not being a problem of it. That's what rebellion looks like. Because like I say, if you are waking up every single day and you're in a job you hate, you're part of the problem, part of the misery on the planet, part of the pain, part of the frustration, you're still in the Matrix. The solution is to say, actually, right now, I'm going to be in nature. I'm going to make sure my purpose is about raising the frequency, raising the vibration. That's what it's about. That's a great question. But ultimately, it's about what does it look like to you? Because what I'm doing is not what you're supposed to be doing. What you're doing may not be what I'm supposed to be doing. You have to find what it is you're here to do on the planet. I told you. You know, one thing I realized, deep divers, and that's why I always say this: stay in your lane. I'm in the deep divers lane, baby. Right? With dolphins. I got dolphins every day, deep divers. In the background, literally. I got dolphins in the background, literally. I got dolphins. Oh my gosh. In the background, literally. I got dolphins in the background, literally. Right? That's my reality. I live in a deep divers universe of just dolphins and good energy and lots of samba. Right? And you can also create the world you choose to live in. But you're going to have to start realizing you're going to have to make big choices, big decisions. And also, you're going to have to start to realize how much power you have. You have a lot of power, more power than you think. That's a great question. Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. Woo! That's a slow motion. Let me borrow that one, please. Please. Let me borrow that slow motion. Yo, deep divers, check this out. Ibrahim Cummings. The government are the real ones wearing masks. What? Slow motion this side. Now that's a slow motion. Deep divers, that's a slow motion. That's a slow motion. Let me give that a round of applause. Woo. That's powerful. That's a powerful one. Because like I say, everything is in reverse, deep divers. Everything is in reverse. Everything is in reverse. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Deep divers, ultimately, I want to remind you, we have to take back our power every single day. We have to recognize our power. We have to realize right now humanity is at the crossroads. We have a choice to make. Are we going to allow ourselves to make this the new normal? Are we going to allow ourselves to make this the new normal? Or are we going to free ourselves and make this the new normal? Make this the new normal. It's always a choice. Did you come here for this? Or did you come here for this? So right now we got to choose. We got a big choice to make, because this thing can go any way right now. Right now it's 50-50. Who wants to be a millionaire? It's 50-50. Phone a friend, deep divers. Is that your final answer? Is that your final answer? Ask the audience. What should I do? Should I get vaccinated and stay locked down my entire life? Or should I stay in nature? Deep divers, can you help me out? I'm calling you right now. It's phone a friend time. Ask the audience. 50-50. Who wants to be a millionaire, deep divers? Is that your final answer? Is that your final answer, right? So you got to remind yourself right now, it's like, who wants to be a millionaire? We got to phone a friend. We got to ask the audience. We got to do 50-50. But also we got to go inside ourselves, most importantly. You already know all the answers. You know what you have to do here. So let's start doing it. Nature, baby. What are you choosing, deep divers? Okay, I'm going to give you a multiple choice. Okay, who wants to be a millionaire? Multiple choice. A, get the chip, stay vaccinated. B, we ain't having it at all. C, wear a mask the rest of your life, but no vaccine. D, become a robot. So you can choose A, B, C, or D, right? Right. So we got to do it like that. We got to do it like that. We got to start giving ourselves the multiple choice, because it's about to get real on the planet. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sister Gold. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Okay. Sister Gold. Shout out to Sister Gold. Sister Gold, I see energies. I appreciate the offering, Sister Gold. Thank you very much. I see energies. Why is there so many dark energies in churches? What is your take on the Bible? I believe it's another form of suppression. That's a great question. You know, I always say, religion is for people who are afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for people who've already been there. What? Slow motion this side. You know, I always say, a lot of people have been killed in the name of religions, unfortunately. But you have to remind yourself why religions were created in the first place. They were created to control people. You know, the Bible is full of a lot of powerful information. No doubt about that. A lot of wisdom in the Bible, because you got to remind yourself, you know, the Bible isn't just a book. It's a collection of books. It's a collection of work. At the same time, one thing about a lot of religions, you know, is that It's another form of control in the matrix. You see, many religions don't tell you that you are a free being and you are also a god and a goddess. See, religions were created to keep the matrix going. So they always have you believing someone outside of you is greater than yourself. You got to remind yourself that I'm the greatest. You're the greatest, right? You got to be the lion. You got to be the lion, and you got to remind yourself that right now it's about getting free. Why are there so many dark energies in churches? I used to work in a church. Growing up, I used to serve in a church. You know, you got to remind yourself a lot of times that's where they lurk. In man-made institutions, never in nature. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Once again, deep divers, you are appreciated. We are the power. We always were. We always will be. And you know, right now it's time for you to really free yourself of everything that's been holding you back. You know, I keep telling you, there's levels to this shit. I'm not on the highest level yet. I'm still working my way up the pyramid. But mark my words, there's levels to this shit. Meaning that knowledge is power in the matrix. If you have the knowledge, you get out. If you don't, you stay trapped in. So it's designed to always keep the knowledge away from you. But we free ourselves. We become that butterfly when we make the metamorphosis. And this is why the lions are waking up. You know, we're saying we ain't having it. It is the power within, absolutely. See, deep divers, one day you wake up, you're like that lion and you're like, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Deep divers, I'm just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Sending everybody tons of good ass energy. Take that, take that, take that. You know, so much good energy here. And that's the thing. When it's like this, we can keep on going. You know, I feel we've covered a lot here. People always say, Ralph, where can I get more information? Check out the new amazing book for more information like this. Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and ralphsmart.com/the book. Get a deep dive into knowledge, deep divers. You want to rock the good ass prana clothing? Check it out. ralphsmart.com/clothes. You're a sexy ass model. Woo! With a lion heart, with a whole lot of heart. Let me know what you got. And like I told you, deep divers, right now it's all about unity. You want to send me a question? Add me on the verified Instagram page at official Ralph Smart. So, we've had a phenomenal live. You know, a lot of people, we've rocked the house, deep divers. And like I told you, this is just the beginning. You know, one thing about everything that's happening right now is for us all to realize this is just the beginning. And that could mean two things. It could mean two things. This is just the beginning. Everything that's happening is just the beginning. But also, this is a new beginning for you if you are coming into knowledge of who you really are. Live, love, laugh. I appreciate that. 717 in the house. Shout out to you. Live, love, laugh, 717. You definitely got to be a lion, Ralph. Just like myself, I appreciate your knowledge. Here is some grapes. One love. Oh, thank you so much. You're spoiling me right now. I feel so grateful for that. Let me just give you a thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Believe how many amazing people are on this live stream. I love you. I can't believe how many amazing people are on this live stream. I love you. I love you all, deep divers. Like I say, right now is time to celebrate, because there are a lot of people waking up. And like I say, you have to find new ways to raise your frequency, your vibration. One of the ways I do it is through music. Make sure you keep the vibrations high. 1313, I appreciate that. Gratitude for you, Ralph, sending all peace, love, and happiness. I appreciate you. And like I say, deep divers, one love to everybody. I love all of you on this live. I hope you enjoyed the live. Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You. Oh, you want that samba music? We're going Caribbean, deep divers. Let's go. Have a beautiful day, deep divers. You are amazing. Oh, deep divers, we ain't finished yet. I love all of you. Have a